The first section is about adapting our timing, and specifically how we might reduce or shorten the length of a piece. Let's look at example 11a. Imagine you've written a short piece like this for a film, and the director loves it. It fits the picture perfectly. However, suppose the film continues to be edited, and that section with your music is now shorter. Suddenly, we need to figure out a way to shorten our piece to fit the picture. We don't want to change it that much, and we want to maintain the same vibe because the director already loves it. We simply want to find a way to make this shorter. But first, let's listen to what it sounds like. So this is pretty straightforward. We're in G minor, and we have these piano arpeggios up and down, outlining the harmony, which is also supported by the bass. And we just have one harmony per measure, G minor, B flat major, then D minor, and F major, and that resolves back to G. And this is actually a G5 chord. There's no third, so it sounds kind of open. And up top, we have this flute melody. Now, getting back to our example with the film, suppose we need to shorten this by 2 beats in order to fit the length of the film. How do we do that? Well, there are a number of ways. The easiest thing would be to cut off the end right before the resolution to G. So we're chopping off half a measure. That is example 11b. Let's take a listen to it. Cool. So that works. This is 2 beats shorter, so that would work perfectly. However, did you notice anything about the melody? It's subtle, but looking back at 11a, the part we chopped off had this melodic movement. What if we could find a way to include that? So maybe instead of cutting the last half of the measure, what if we cut 2 beats from the first half of the measure? So effectively, we'll shorten this long A. We'll maintain the piano chord in the bass and then play this melodic figure with piano and flute. That brings us to example 11c. Here's what that sounds like. So now we're preserving this end part of the melody. And you know, this brings us to the concept of phrasing. I think this example might preserve the phrasing a little bit better than 11b. There are 2 melodic phrases in this piece. The first spans measures 1 and 2. Let's look at the shape of it. Notice the melody jumps up a fifth, holds that note, and then plays eighths and quarters, moving its way down. In measure 3, we start the second phrase. Once again, the melody moves up, this time by a third, and this is where we made the cut. It doesn't hold A as long as it used to, but that allows us to include these eighth notes in measure 4. And by doing so, I think this second phrase is a little more balanced against the first one. These eighth notes also help pull us toward the final note, G in measure 5.